Boozhoo, and welcome back to Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Nanaboozhoo, and in this corner, the lovely and the talented Natasha. Ikadon Boozhoo, Weedy Mushane. Say hello, sweetheart.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show.
And over here, the rock star cartoonist. Less of a rock star these days, but the cartoonist Michael Lyons. Ikadon Boozhoo, Niji. Say hello, brother. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the show. And, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Anima Gisha Good. Prayer Day, sweetie.
Yep, prayer day.
I gotta make sure I say my prayers. They're coming for us, you guys.
Do you want to tell them about it, or do you want to talk about the moon first?
I'm just gonna tell them about it. I mean, it's really more your story than mine, Michael. Did you want to tell them first? Nah, you can tell them. We got in some trouble. I'd like to formally thank YouTube and Facebook for not censoring us. You know, there's been a lot of talk daily. Almost everything I watch, somebody will mention, cancel culture. You better watch out what you say. You say something, you're going to get canceled. YouTube and Facebook, they're really going to crack down, especially if you're conservative. And I don't even know if I'd call myself conservative. Probably, I guess. But a few days ago, we were making fun of the NFL. NFL came out, they had a commercial that said, the NFL is gay and bi and trans and, believes Black Lives Matters and believes in science or whatever. And so we were poking fun at that. And I made a bunch of jokes about football being gay. Now, these are jokes, obviously. They're even dumb jokes. It's jokes kind of like from the 80s. Remember back in the 80s, a dumb joke, obvious humor would be pointing out what was gay about something that wasn't gay, like football. Oh, that's so gay. Like remember in that scene in the Breakfast Club?
You mean where they talk about wrestling?
Yeah, exactly. In the Breakfast Club, Bender makes a comment. He's the athlete's like, oh, you're just jealous. You want to be in a wrestling club or wrestling team. He goes, oh, yeah, I'm so jealous. I want to be just like you. Because I think there's nothing better than when guys dress up in tights and roll around with other guys. And he gets all defensive, It's an old joke to call things gay and assume that everyone agrees that being gay is bad and embarrassing and insulting to call somebody gay. Well, now we're in 2021. And it's a weird dynamic because of cancel culture. Cancel culture. So now the feeling is you can't make fun of certain groups. And they'll call it political correctness or whatever. Well, nothing happened to me and Natasha, but Michael lost a couple of gigs. We go to these conferences, and the conferences, we don't even go. Michael goes to these conferences. That's what's so funny about it. It's something I said got you in trouble. Yeah, I know. But apparently the people involved with teaching, it's called intertribal government relations or something. It's where Indian people and the non-Indian government get together at casinos and have a conference. And we have this big display on why treaties matter. And we teach them about boarding schools, about systemic oppression. I mean, it's a stone's throw from teaching them critical race theory, but it's not really that. But it's a conference with adults, And our little podcast, our little children's show about Ojibwe words and phrases, you know, rubbed some people the wrong way. And as per usual, they didn't come right out and say what exactly offended them. They just, and they had to get my cousin to tell me too, or tell Michael, you know. But he got canned. They say, well, you know, your show on, you know what you did. And I was like, no, what? First of all, I was like, which show did they not like? And she was like, well, the one on the NFL. Oh, okay. What in particular? She goes, you know. What do you mean I know? I can assume that people, I don't know. I think, actually, what I assume is nobody was offended. Nobody. But we've all been so conditioned, so brainwashed, that I triggered whatever response that the brainwash get, where they go, whoops, what? Is he making fun of transgenderism? You know? Because like then the show is called The NFL is Gay. So it's like, why are you offended by that? Is it because what's wrong with being gay? You know? And I teased, you know, but whatever. Reality is, because of stuff we said on this show, and there was even some, you know, it was a very vague conversation, but there's some, I heard the word apologize. I was like, absolutely not. Apologize to who? And why would I? Because this is what I kind of liked about the whole thing, honestly. Oh, yeah, you liked it. I'm out $700. Yeah, I know. But it told me that our show is working. Yeah, it's totally that. Comedy. I've noticed that, you know, you turn on late night comedy. People used to be stand-up comedians and get like Stephen Colbert doing that dance with the transgendered vaccination needles. And you go, where's the humor? That's not even funny. But he's just in lockstep. There's unspoken rules now that, well, here's my final, and then we'll get on to the moon. This is what I found so interesting. So I made a bunch of jokes in that vein of teasing that football itself is gay. And into some, you know, if I say, oh yeah, it's gay because they wear knickers, and they slap each other in the butt when they do a good job, you know, it's a dumb, it's not even that funny, but it's not offensive. And even if it was, who cares? I'm a felt puppet, you know, I'm Ernie and Bert's cousin. But because I said a certain thing comedically, it created a ripple in the time-space continuum, in the matrix. People freaked out, got offended, and felt like Michael, because he knows me and Natasha, and he hangs out here and he almost never says anything. But Michael, not me, I wasn't going to go to this conference. Michael goes and sings a song about boarding schools and talks about his grandpa. He is no longer welcome to do that because I made fun of football players being gay and be just general gayness, the gay accepting thing, you know. I think I gave the definition for the word two spirits, and then in parentheses I said, you know, sodomite. What do you want me to call them? Gay people? It goes much deeper than being happy. But whatever. So I was on the wrong side of political correctness and cancel culture, not with the media platform, but with people who were my friends, or at least colleagues, people I knew on a professional level. Not me, people Michael knew, or people who knew of him. So sorry we got you fired, but it wasn't the first time for you, huh? Yeah, I've been fired from most of my jobs. That's hilarious. But here's the thing. It's specifically because it was comedy. If you, I think if I joined like a pro-life group, and let's say I had a platform where every week I became super religious. Let's say the show was just Bible study, Christian Science, whatever. If I came out as a anything except making jokes, that wouldn't have gotten Michael into trouble. I could be, pro-gun, pro-life, Christian, whatever. And if I was serious about it and said, I could have been leading a protest of school boards and transgender story hour or something. And if I was serious about it, I don't think Michael would have gotten into trouble. They would have supported my right to be involved in whatever serious organizations and their opinions in politics. But if you make jokes, that's too dangerous. That freaks people out. So today, this is my long way of getting around to this. Wawiyaj is funny. If I said I'm funny, I would say ni wawiyaj, funny. If something just is funny, is considered funny, you would say wawiya dendagozi, wawiya dendagozi. So if it's not funny, it's gawin, wawiya dendagozi. Ni wawiya dendagozi, or wawiyaj, ni wawiyaj, gi na wiyaj, you're funny, I'm funny. Wawiyaj, he's funny. It's not funny. Gawin, wawiyenda gozi. It's not funny. I couldn't find a word for offensive. That's what I love about the ancestors. What's that? I don't think they had a word for offended. Oh, I'm offended. I couldn't even find a word for insult. Things were either just funny or not funny. And finally, that's the other thing I got to say about this show. Boozhoo, everyone, anyway. I'm noticing that the Boozhoo crew's here. I'll get to you guys in a minute. The Boozhoo crew gets it. For anybody who's watching this later on, and I recognize everybody who's here, like Wisani, hey, Boozhoo Niji, and Zagame, and Sheila Eddie, and Zagate. Hello, you guys are great. I don't need to tell you guys this, but to anybody who's watching this in the future, this show is a comedy show. It's really not even a language and culture podcast. I mean, yeah, we teach the words and I talk about my life, so lots of times Indian culture, I talk about my grandparents' school days, you're going to hear about boarding schools and reservation life, But this show isn't I'm not really a spinoff from Sesame Street. I don't know if it's vaccine damage to your brains, but people will show up and every once in a while, I mean, I would say our thumbs up to thumbs down ratio is like 6-1, 7-1, 700 times more people give thumbs up than thumbs down watching this. But sometimes people get annoyed because they show up, they're thinking they're going to see some sort of really entertaining Sesame Street where they learn how to speak fluent Ojibwe and then hear stories, traditional stories of like how the beaver got his tail. And you will, for sure. I like that stuff. But at the end of the day, what I'm really about is just trying to make people laugh. I'm trying to be entertaining. Along the way, you learn something great. It occurred to me that I need to say, what we do here is probably closer. It's nothing like this show, but it's an alternative to the Howard Stern show.
Really? Why do you say that?
Well, because it's just me talking, trying to be funny. And what's nice about our show is I can turn up the volume on the fire. There we go. What's nice about our show is that, I mean, it's weird that I'm feeling the heat of censorship, because Howard Stern gets to sexually abuse women on his show. Everything that he talks about is just degrading, immoral, whatever. This show will never, you notice I never swear. We're pretty positive. I mean, we pray on the show, for crying out loud. We talk to God himself. You know, we talk about art. This show is meant to be entertaining and to create kind of a reoccurring, you know, in some ways the Howard Stern show was like a reality show. You got to know him and Robin, and they would have little funny bits, but he would just kind of talk about celebrities and interview people. You know, we get presidents calling in here and stuff.
Yeah, we had Bush and Sylvester Stallone calls in a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we get some celebrity call-ins. But the show is actually, I'm trying to be funny. Well, it's trying to be funny. And something happened to people's minds where they can't handle funny anymore. I was watching a clip from, what was that show that Jim Carrey got his start on?
In Living Color?
Yeah, In Living Color. And it was a superhero convention, and they had just gotten sued for not being diverse enough. And so they had to do an affirmative action hire of new superheroes. And they had the first Jewish superhero, Beard Man. It was just a Jewish guy with a big beard. And then he said, this is the first black feminist superhero, Angry Woman. And this is so funny because it's an 80s show, but I think half of the superheroes are black feminists now. And then the main guy was Handyman. And he was a guy who had like cerebral palsies. And he was in a superhero outfit. And he spoke with that, you know, slur. I'm Handyman. I'm Handyman. From this day forward, I'm for truth and justice for handicapped people, you know. And it was really funny. And I went, wow, they would never do that anymore. People, they can't, I mean, not everyone, but there's a spell that's on everyone's mind where they're like waiting to be offended and go, hey. And what I think it is, which is actually more disappointing than anything, I think people like turning in other people, calling people out. Hey, it's like they win if they notice that you stepped out of line and they can tell on you. Hey, you said a racial joke. I'm going to tell your boss. Going to have a talking to. You know, I've had so many jobs where I've had to go into the boss's office at some point and either get fired for something dumb I said, never anything scandalous. You know, I never stole anything, never had an inappropriate relationship with anybody. I've never anything. Never swore, never hit a kid. I never bought beer for anybody. Maybe dumb stuff like, did you say this thing? And they heard it out of context and they didn't get the joke. It's like, yeah. You know. Well, one time I got fired from this job. I was working an after-school program for Native Americans. I was going to put on a play. And the play, you know what it's called? The Breakfast Club. Yeah, The Breakfast Club. We were going to call it the BIR room, the Bad Indian room. That's what they called suspension room in the school I worked at. And it's going to be all Native Americans. And we're going to recreate the movie, The Breakfast Club. And I got the script. And the first day, I had 2 actors for every part. We actually had understudies where so many kids wanted to be in the play. And I told them, all right, listen up. I have the script here straight from the movie. There's all kinds of bad words. We're not going to use these bad words. We want to invite our grandmas to the play. So, when you hear words like the F word, you're going to have to get creative and say a different word. All right? So we did the play. We're doing read-throughs for a couple of days. Kids were trying out. It was just great. And then got called in, and the principal was like, do you think it was appropriate to have these kids read the script? And I was like, these kids? By the way, these were high schoolers. And I was like, do I think it's appropriate for high schoolers in 2000 and whatever it was, 18, to read this PG movie from 1985? What? Yes. I didn't dare tell him I had him watch Malcolm or American History X in my class, uncensored, but didn't get in trouble for that. But when I had them do that, and so it wasn't even one of these things. Hey, you shouldn't do that. They just straight up fired me. I couldn't even just keep doing the program. Okay, we'll do Fiddler on the Roof. It's like, no. I had exposed these poor innocent children to the F word in the movie script of The Breakfast Club. So, but, I don't know. It was always sort of embarrassing to get either fired or written up. Sometimes you get that where they call you and they go, have a seat. No, you're not being fired. This is just a verbal warning. But I want to warn you that, when I was younger, sometimes it would be because I was saying too much negative things about colonization and boarding schools and stuff. We're trying to bridge the cultures here. You're stirring things up. What? So I'm not supposed to tell them that Pocahontas was raped? Got it. Or whatever. We were just reading the journals of Columbus where he talked about Indian children being trafficked, would be our word today. Oh no, they were slaves. 10-year-old girls for the pirates, whatever. Anyway, so that's the final word on that. Got a little bit of trouble, got Michael canned, and not sorry at all. I'm just trying to be funny. Even this little thing I just said, I know, and nobody likes to watch a YouTube video where they talk about how persecuted they are. Hey, Steven Crowder got canceled again. So, well, I'm sorry about that, but that's not a show to watch. Today we're talking about how to say we never went to the moon.
Hey, good transition.
Thanks, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, Natasha.
Hey, everybody.
All right. So I want to give credit to Owen Benjamin. And I picked up all this video from his podcast on BitChute. Owen Benjamin, if anybody knows him, is a comedian and an actor who lost all of his representation and basically got shamed out of Hollywood for making jokes about transgender children. And now he has a podcast, and I watch it a lot. And so I don't know how this works, if we're going to get a copyright strike, because I don't know if it's public domain now. This is me watching old clips of moon landing stuff, and then we'll talk about it. There it goes. Oh, look, kids. There's the rocket. It's about to separate. This is one of two rockets. There's a second rocket that's flying right next to it, taking this video. Apparently. I don't know how else they would have gotten this shot. But they've got perfect they can just track that rocket. They must have a really fast drone.
Yeah.
There it goes. Big flying vaccination needle. And this is what happens. It goes up and it comes down again, right in the ocean. Every time. It has to. Here we are in Apollo 11.
Uh-huh.
There's the Earth from outer space, you guys. Oh, look at that.
No.
Except, oh no, wait. They just faked it from inside that thing. Which is, oh, I guess we're just, I don't know what this is. This is as realistic as anything else NASA's put out. There it is. Actual footage. Wait, what's this now? Oh, it's a textbook showing us exactly how they filmed the moon landing. No, they couldn't have faked this. No way. Oh. I guess there's a photograph of them faking it. Okay. I thought this was a conspiracy theory.
Guess not.
Huh. What do they just admit it now? Oh, there he is. Some first man on the moon. Oh, there he is, golfing or something. Now this thing, believe it or not, kids, is a rocket ship. This flies. That landed on the moon. That's a picture of a spaceship on the moon. And there's the Neil Armstrong giving the salute to the flag.
No.
America owns the moon now. And there's a dune buggy. Yep. Gotta pack a dune buggy when you fly to the moon. Here's a guy who fell on the moon. Oh. 1/6 the gravity. Yep, push it down. Okay, whoops. Wow, it's weird. He almost looks like he's on strings. It almost looks like they're faking it.
So fake.
But nah, why would they fake it? Why would they lie? Okay, this is great. This is actual footage from the moon of them taking off. Hey, you guys, you forgot somebody. The cameraman who's still on the surface. Because he had to tilt the camera up. Look, you can't see the... What? Oh, here we go. This is a spaceship landing to Earth. Oh, I guess they just throw it out the back of a window.
Name one other time that the greatest moment in human history was deleted to save tapes by an organization that gets $24 billion a year.
Yeah.
So where is this hard evidence?
I haven't seen anything that indicates the telemetry data is even in existence, and as I said, even if we had it, we don't have the machines to play it back.
Oh.
Right, we've been unable to track it down. I mean, we don't know where this telemetry data ended up. And
NASA
we don't know
archivist.
what path it may have taken. So, unfortunately, I'm afraid I can't really give you much of a clue as to where this data ended up.
We went there and no country followed. We didn't set up bases there. We never went back. We have no scientists up there. It's the one time in human history that's the technology, we lost the technology and it's too painful to recreate. That was one of the most senior astronauts who said that.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
Oh, thank you. That explains it.
The moon rocks contain trace elements that only exist on Earth. Neil Armstrong gave Holland a piece of wood. And there is no chance you can broadcast live television from that distance with that amount of power now, let alone in the late 60s.
Yeah, huh?
It's all bullshit.
Shouldn't swear.
That was Owen Benjamin. Owen Benjamin, Big Bear. Check out his podcast. Oh, did these guys go to the moon, or did somebody, threaten their families?
That's what it looks like.
Anyway, we never went to the moon.
But why would they lie?
Because that's what they are, sweetie. They're liars.
I heard that NASA in Hebrew, it means to deceive.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, brother. But that was the thing I used to be afraid of. Like when we talk about flat earth stuff, I thought, oh no, they're gonna cancel us for talking about the fake moon landing. But no. I mean, to be fair, that's the other thing I need to say about this show. Just to be completely, truthful and honest. We are like in the double digits. The last week, we finally had more than 100 views for one of our podcasts. You can barely even call us a YouTube channel. A real podcast would have like 15,000 views, and they'll say stuff like, oh, make sure you hit subscribe, get that notification bell. We're being shadow banned by YouTube because we're too controversial. It's like, yeah, no one's shadow banning you. You're a channel on how to pick up chicks. Nobody's, they're afraid of the truth. But, so I was always afraid that they were going to give us a strike, or a copyright strike, for all the Kiss songs we cover. And sometimes we'll do a Kiss tune and we'll get a little email that says, hey, you gotta share some of that ad revenue with Kiss or EMI Records or whatever they are. And so, the 45 cents we get from advertisers, Gene and Paul get 25 of that. So, okay. Just let us sing Lick It Up, But it wasn't even the internet this time. It was just real life. Real life people are like, hey, don't say that. And I'm thinking, did you guys see the shows where we had Adolf Hitler as a guest? We actually had Adolf Hitler. We tried to make Adolf Hitler funny. And we praise his artwork. Hey, no problem there. Yeah, that's fine. You can humanize a guy who actually committed genocide. That's fine. We've had Michael Jackson made jokes about him and pedophilia. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know why that was okay. We said some pretty, not offensive. Again, I don't think offensive is just an objective thing in the universe. Oh, that's offensive. What you said is objectively offensive. It's like, no, that has to be you. Let's quit using the word offensive. Let's start using the word insulting. Hey, what you said is insulting. What? To the NFL? To gay people? To gay allies? So it's like using the N-word. It's not offensive to black people. It's offensive to white people. I don't know, sweetie. Should we talk about something that's funny and not funny?
Those are the words. What's the other one?
Miigwech easy b'madazian. Here's some actual practical Ojibwe phrase for the kids. Hi, kids. Sorry we talk so much about conspiracies and political correctness and cancel culture. I don't want to scare you, because that's the other thing about this show. Other shows that we're kind of like, we're our own sort of show, but, sometimes people tune into shows where there's just like one guy talking about current events, current eventing it.
Yeah.
And, so let's say, who's that little Jewish guy?
Ben Shapiro?
Yeah, so let's say Ben Shapiro. He gets out and says, oh, today in politics, here's something conservative and crazy. Isn't this going to make you mad? And he'll talk about transgender story hour or something. Now the boys are taking showers with the girls in high school. Like, what? And it's a lot of just, feel despair. Get angry. Here's another story about how the world's going nuts. Oh, their vaccination mandates. And they're clamping down. It's people kind of like Ben Shapiro who make me freak out. It's like, really? Are they canceling everybody? Is the government going to come to my door and get mad at me because I told the kids the earth wasn't round? I mean, I don't know. But, this week... Oh, and then here's another thing. I was sort of hoping she would be here tonight, and I don't see her. Maybe I'll wait till tomorrow to show this. It's been an interesting week, like the presence of Gitchimanadu or whatever. One of the things I pray for a lot, speaking of prayer day, Anama egg, is you good? Anama is pray. One of the things I Anama for, not Anama A, but on this prayer day, I actually learned to pray, and I was embarrassed to do this, but I always thank the Creator for providing for me and for us, you know. And money comes just enough when we need it. A little more than we need, actually. You know, in the last couple of years, we became thousandaires. You know, that's a lot of money to like a fifth grader. You know, I remember when I used to work at the school, kids would come up and want to bum money. Like, hey, do you have any money? I'd be like, yeah, I got hundreds of dollars. Thanks for reminding me. And I walk away. It's like, no, give me some. It's like, nah, get a job. But, so financially, it's just sort of interesting. Like, sometimes I think coincidences, synchronicities in life kind of show you that the Creator's with you, giving you a little wink. So last week, we got a $300, and I'm sorry for talking about money. If you'd like to support the show, we have a Patreon, a PayPal, and a GoFundMe page. Patreon is a platform where people pay $10 or $20 every month to keep us going. And but PayPal is a place where people give tips. And GoFundMe is kind of the same thing, but GoFundMe, we're trying to raise $8,000. PayPal, the sky's the limit. It's just, you know, buy us a cup of coffee, give us, you know, $50, whatever. So, you know, we don't get that much. I mean, we really appreciate our supporters. But we had a really good week. We got $100 from one of our Boozhoo crew. I don't think she's here right now. But in Walmart gift cards. And then we got $100 from somebody else, sent us a check. And then we got $300 in PayPal and $300 in GoFundMe. That was exactly how much money we lost out on, or Michael lost out on, because of the NFL podcast or whatever. It was kind of like we got just enough money, extra money we didn't think we'd get, to take care of the money that we weren't going to get later on. It's like we just broke even again. And I think God was kind of like, yeah, go ahead, make fun of football. Who cares? You know?
Yeah, I know. I thought that was pretty cool.
So we're fine. You know? It doesn't even hurt. I mean, it hurts a little bit, but so MJ is just the truth. That's right. The truth. They're afraid of the truth. I heard this today. I thought it was brilliant. Remember when you used to have a goatee?
Yeah, I had a goatee for like 10 years.
You looked just like a magician when you had a goatee.
I know. That's why I shaved it.
The thing about magicians hate the truth. You ever notice this? A magician always says, a magician never tells his tricks. Because it's always just a lie. You know? It's always just, there's some trick where he made you look one way and then did something dumb to make it seem like, oh, look, I just made this card appear. I took a quarter out of your ear. What? I had a quarter in my ear? It's like, oh, I did this special thing with my hand. But, comedy, being funny, I think for people who want, like, the whole political correct agenda, saying something against transgenderism, homosexuality, race, or just not paying attention to the rules of, like, you're not supposed to make racial jokes. Oh, me Chinese, me play joke, me go pee-pee in your Coke. Whatever. You can't say that anymore. They say, is all because it's the truth. And the truth, once you see the truth, that's why I think the moon landing thing's so important. Even though it's funny to watch, just to hear you kind of make your smart remarks. Making fun of the whole debate about the moon landing, because it's so connected to the flat earth stuff, is funny. Or because it's the truth. Just telling the truth can be really funny, Like we've had Joe Biden, or Hunter Biden on the show. And when Hunter Biden calls up, he smokes crack on the phone. He laughs like a person who's high on crack. And we make fun of his artwork. And, we also kind of humanize him. Well, we don't do that. He just did, But he says funny stuff, and we're not hating on him. But we're just kind of letting him expose the truth that the president's son... Oh, and, we asked him just straight up why he married his brother's widow. His brother died, and so he married the woman he was married to before he died. It's his sister-in-law / wife. He's their kid's uncle / dad. It's weird. It's funny. Nobody had a problem with that. But we stepped on some toes. I think it's because we used the term sodomite. Is sodomite a bad word? I don't know. I mean, it's a biblical word. We even told the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Best way we could remember. Which is funny too, because we're just barely understanding. I don't even know the story. Zagate says, the NFL incident. Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't even the NFL. See, people watch the NFL, and probably, you know what it was? The people we worked with are college people. They're college Native Americans. Great people. I really like them. Even now, I don't, if they're mad at us, don't care at all. Not if that doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm wondering about one woman right now. She loves us, but she might have gotten offended by our show. I'm not going to apologize to her. I'm not sorry for anything I said, and I'm not sorry if you are insulted by our humor. That's on you. I don't care. It's just like the vaccination thing. It really isn't my problem to keep you safe. I hate it when people say, when they're talking about movies, yeah, and they go, oh, trigger warning. In the end, Bruce Willis is actually dead. People, oh, don't ruin the movie for me. What are you talking about? If you hear how a movie ends, it's going to ruin something for you. And, shut up. Quit imposing your society's rules that I have to guard my speech to protect your movie-going experience. That's not my problem. If you are so easily, this movie's ruined. I heard that Batman, Superman dies in the end. Why did you tell me that? I didn't want to see it anymore, So, whatever. Especially when it comes to jokes, you guys. That's a hate crime. You shouldn't make jokes about Caitlyn Jenner. That was the other one. I don't know what they're offended by. You know, you better, you know, the problem is if you're offended, you should have the cojones. That means testicles. To say, hey, that offended me. And now I'm mad at you and I don't want to watch your show anymore. I don't think you're funny. I think it's gaween. What we dendagozi. That's not funny. Because I think one of us said, hey, Caitlyn Jenner, by the way, for the record, nobody thinks of you as a woman. Nobody. Not your ex-wife, not the Olympic Committee from back in the day, not the, people at Wheaties, not your agent, not your dumb step Kardashian children. Nobody. We're all lying when we say that we think of you as a woman now. Does that insult anybody? Why? Did I not tell the truth? There are some people who are like, hey, who's that woman? Oh, woman? No, you're mistaken. That's formerly Bruce Jenner. You're kidding me. I never would have guessed. That 6 foot tall, hulking man in a dress and a wig. You're telling me she used to be a man? Get out of here. Bruce? That's hilarious. That's Caitlyn to me. You can't. Nope. I refuse to believe. Hey, quit hating. It's not hate. I'm just telling the truth. It's funny when it's true. Okay, so here's the thing. Should I tell them what we almost did today?
Yeah.
So we almost just changed the name of the show today. And I was thinking, how hard would it be to change the title? I was going to call this show Natasha Nindisha Nakaz. Natasha's my name. Or no, just Natasha, a transgendered woman of color who happens to be disabled. And I was going to get on and say, hello, welcome to Natasha, a transgendered woman of color who happens to be disabled. I am Natasha. I'm transgendered.
I was born a man, but I identify as a woman. I chose the name, much like Caitlyn Jenner, I chose the name Natasha.
And I identify as a beautiful girl. So I'd appreciate if you would also think of me as a girl.
Even though I was born a man.
Because as a transgendered woman of color, I'm a Native American, ni Anishinaabe, I'm Indian, and I just so happen to be disabled. And we've never talked about this on the show. I'm not in a wheelchair right now, but I don't mind telling you I was born without legs at all.
It's very brave of you, honey.
Thank you, sweetie. Remember not Michael Jackson, what's the guy's name? Paul McCartney's second or third wife? She had a artificial leg. I used to be so jealous of her. I was like, man, if I had just one leg, I could hop around. But look at me. Look at me. There's nothing down there. My whole body ends at my waist. I don't even have legs. So it's very difficult being disabled, transgendered woman of color. Now, since I represent all the protected groups of oppressed, marginalized people. Oh, I'm also the descendant of boarding school survivors. And I'm unemployed. So, well, we have the radio show. I guess I'm not really unemployed. But I have all the protected status. I can say whatever I want. Because the patriarchy's, coming down on me. It's not easy being so marginalized as a transgender woman of color who happens to be disabled. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Should I play a song?
You want to play The Blues Are in the Game?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sad about this. I'm not even freaked out. I'm a little freaked out.
Yeah, I'm a little freaked out too.
But I promise we're not gonna censor ourselves. Because let me jump on what you were saying. The Howard Stern show. All these political shows that talk about whatever they talk about. It's bumming everybody out. In fact, should I go out and pray?
Yeah, you want me to teleport you?
Would you mind?
Sure.
I'm gonna go outside and pray, and we'll talk about this a little bit more.
All right, honey. 1 to teleport.
Energize! Energize!
Yeah, doggone it. I'm wiggling the thing.
You gotta push the button and wiggle it.
Yeah, I know.
Hey! Bloop.
Hello?
Hi, sweetie.
Oh, hi. You make it out there okay?
Yeah, I thought I should let you know that teleporter is kind of on the fritz.
Yeah, I know. Well, give me a call when you want me to pick you up.
I sure will.
Over and out.
Roger that. Over and out. Bloop. So, yeah, so insulting people with comedy. I promise I'm trying not to censor myself. I'm not going to let them, just the threat of being canceled, make us not choose our humor differently. But I remind everyone, yeah, so we're a comedy show, probably closer to the Howard Stern show. Any kind of morning radio. That's why we always go on at 8. We originally came on at like 6. I thought, well, this will be in the morning when some people are having their coffee. They just don't want to do anything yet. They can just listen to us while they check their emails, or I don't know. But not something that just degrades the world, normalizes. Howard Stern has done so much damage to just basic decency. And maybe that's why he thrives. He's one of the most successful broadcasters ever. And I bet you, I wonder if Howard Stern wanted to speak at a conference, if they would have let him. I don't know if he plays guitar. Anyway. Oh, I should pull up the text for Miigwech Kaishi Pamadazian. Thank you for my life. Kitchamanadu. Taka Odapadamaniwi Asema. Great Spirit, please accept my tobacco. Kitchamanadu. Taka Witukawishan. Minaway Nungum. Great Spirit, please help me to speak well. Kitchamanadu. Miigwech Kaishi Pamadazian. Thank you for my life. I could talk all day about the specifics. The things I'm grateful for. Just where do I even begin? So let me just say thanks for the whole thing. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my podcast. Thank you for the radio show. Thank you for taking care of everything for us. Thank you for keeping me out of trouble. I mean, real trouble. When, somebody getting mad at a joke is like my biggest problem, then that's a pretty easy life. I recognize that. Thank you. Thank you for kind of opening my eyes to what seems like a lot of nonsense. And please help me. Help everyone here. I want to create something that's positive. Something that's, optimistic. Or something kind of appreciate, let's sort of celebrate life. And, if I make fun of stuff, I'm trying to take the sting out of it a little bit. And I know this is a weird prayer, but I feel like being irreverent is sometimes, really powerful. It's always funny. And I know you get it. I'm not worried about it insulting you. But people sometimes misunderstand irreverence. And, yeah. Please continue to protect me, and I want to pray for the Boozhoo crew and everybody watches this show. I hope they get something out of it. And I hope they know that having them here is what makes it special. I don't always know how to say that, because we've done this show without an audience, and it's a totally different thing, and it's really lonely. This morning, I went to church. Excuse me for a minute, Great Spirit. I'm going to talk to the Boozhoo crew. Went to church, and then we went out to lunch at the senior center in Cass Lake. And a lady came up to Michael, and she was like, "Oh, I love your work." And Michael was all like, "The puppet show?" Or just, "Yeah, I love that show." And he didn't even know if it was the puppet show or for his books. On sale now at Amazon.com. But I was thinking about it. And in our life, and I know we live in a small town, and Indian country in particular is even smaller. Everyone kind of has 1-2 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon or whatever. But we're 6 degrees of separation from Sitting Bull, But what was I gonna say? Oh, forgive me for sounding prideful, but it's getting to the point where we feel almost famous, like that movie, Almost Famous. Like 1 out of 4 times when we leave the house, somebody will stop us and mention the show. And go, "Hey, I saw your show and it was great." Sometimes they're little kids. Sometimes they're really old people, like we've known for years, but great grandmas are like, "Oh, I love that show. You're crazy." They always say that. "Oh, you're so crazy. I just love that show." And they always especially mention me. But it's so, I don't know. You can't tell if somebody tells a joke in the forest and nobody hears it, is it still funny? You gotta have an audience. So I just love the Boozhoo crew who shows up. And I didn't read any of their things today. We're probably out of time. So anyway, in closing, Gitchi Manadu, I want to say miigwech, GOFUNDME. Thank you for my life.
Well, my daughter, you are very welcome.
Well, hi, Gitchi Manadu. Ladies and gentlemen, the Great Spirit.
Hello, Boozhoo crew. How are ye?
What are you doing?
I was just watching your show. You guys really crack me up.
Do we?
Oh, I laugh and I laugh. It's a funny show, and that's why I watch.
Do you watch it to learn Ojibwe?
I already speak Ojibwe fluently, my daughter.
Oh, yeah, I suppose you do. I forgot.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I will tell you that I'm going to see you again.
You're going to see me again?
Gigarawaba min, Minawa.
Yeah, Gigawaba min, Minawa, Gitchi Manadu. I will see you again. Gitchi Manadu, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I should head back. We're running out of time. Yeah, I want to put out my tobacco. So, yeah. Bloop.
Okay, Boozhoo.
Hi, sweetie.
Are you all done with your prayer?
I sure am.
You want me to scan for your coordinates and pick you up?
Would you mind?
Not at all. All right, hold still. I'm scanning. I'm locking on your coordinates.
Okay.
Please don't move.
I won't.
1 to teleport.
Energize.
Hey, welcome back, sweetie.
Thank you. And there you have it. So,
Did you talk to God?
I did.
Did he talk back?
Yep.
How come he only talks to you?
I don't know. I guess he likes me better.
He never talks to me.
I know. I don't know what you did. But, he was talking a blue streak to me.
Nah.
Well, you want to add anything before I head out?
No, you did a good job.
All right. Well, everybody, Michael, did you want to say anything more on your behalf now that you're a pariah?
You don't even know what pariah means.
Yeah, I do. A pariah is a little fish that swims around and eats up cows.
That's a piranha.
Oh, what's a pariah?
I think it has something to do in society if nobody likes you again or you're an outcast.
Yeah, that's what you are.
No, I'm not.
Name 3 friends.
Hey.
See? Funny. You want to add anything?
No, that's good.
All right. Well, everybody, I'd like to say miigwech bisandawi egg. Thank you for listening. And miigwech gonawabi egg. Thank you for watching. Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, a podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha. This is Nanaboozhoo.
Okay, miigwech.
This is Michael Lyons.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
And I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Minawa. Hawa. Sweetie!
1 to teleport.
See you later. Energize!
Take a boat to England, baby, maybe to Spain. Wherever I have gone, anywhere I've been and gone, anywhere I have gone, the blues are all the same. Send out for whiskey, baby. Send out for gin. Me and room service, honey. Me and room service, babe. Me and room service, well, we're living the life of sin. I'm not drinking, baby, you're on my mind. When I'm not sleeping, honey, when I ain't sleeping, mama, when I ain't sleeping, well, you know, you'll find me crying. A gamble, baby, loving's much the same. Wherever I have played, anywhere I've rolled them dice, anywhere I have played, the blues are all the same.